What's good with y'all? We back on another video. We got the day Kylian Mbappé made an entire country shiver, man. Let's get straight into it, bro.
Have you ever seen your team go against a player who absolutely put the fear of God in you? Surely Argentinian fans have. On the 18th of December, 2000...
Boy, this one fly bugging me, bro. This shit about to piss me off, bro. Gotta stay strapped up.
The lives of Argentinian football fans never remained the same because they got the thing they wanted the most. But they went through the craziest emotional roller coaster before they got to the promised land. This was the day that Kylian Mbappé made an entire country shiver. You see, the 2022 World Cup final was extra significant for many reasons. Many fans of Lionel Messi and Argentinian football in general saw this as the very last dance. Messi was already 30.
Argentina won that. Yeah.
The chance to win the World Cup again, the one trophy that was missing from his cabinet. Messi and his men had started their journey on the wrongest foot from his cabinet. Messi and his men had
My man just said Messi. What?
Started their journey on the wrongest foot, shockingly losing to underdog Saudi Arabia in the opening game of the tournament. But they managed to turn things around, winning their last two group games to top their group and make it to the knockout stages. The knockouts weren't easy. They were really tested by Australia in the round of 16. And then, in the quarter-finals, they were involved in what was perhaps the most violent match in World Cup history, which eventually had to be settled on penalties. But then they cruised past Croatia in the semis to book a place in the final for the first time since 2014. You see, apart from the fact that it was likely Messi's last final, there was also some pressure on Argentina because they had not won the World Cup.
So hold on, Messi ain't gonna play in the next World Cup? Is that what's going on? The next World Cup is in next year. Yeah, next year, bro. You ain't playing?
World Cup in 36 years, and they also had a pretty bad record in finals, having lost all of the last 4 finals they had played before 2021. But then they managed to break the duck in 2021, winning their first major trophy in 28 years. And they quickly followed it up with the Finalissima. So going into that final, they had some hope. But that hope was perhaps a little deflated when they found out that they would be going up against France. Now, apart from the fact that France were the reigning world champions, Argentina personally did not have a good experience with them. On their way to becoming world champions in 2018, France trampled over Argentina. These two footballing giants met in the round of 16, and a teenage Mbappe absolutely ran riot on the South Americans. He scored 2 goals and won a penalty and was very easily the man of the match. This is your brain when you're struggling.
As I say, I'm not even bothered to cut out the ads no more. You're just gonna watch it with me, bro. You know, like, hey,
4 years later, Argentina find out that they'll be facing France with a better and now more experienced Mbappe in the biggest game of their lives. Of course, they'll be frightened, but then they had the GOAT on their side. So they went into the game brimming with a lot of hope and positivity. And things got off to the best possible start they could think of. Argentina were on top from the very beginning, peppering Hugo Lloris's goal with shot after shot. And then, in the 23rd minute, Argentina were awarded a penalty for a pretty soft foul from Dembele on Di Maria. Messi stepped up.
What? That shit don't even look like a foul for Argentina.
But there's really no Argentina final party if Di Maria hasn't scored. He scored in the Olympics final in 2008, the Copa America final in 2021, and now in 2022. He stepped up for his customary final goal in the 36th minute. It was a brilliant sequence of play from Argentina, and the former PSG man arrived at the perfect time to get to the end of a beautiful McAllister pass and send the ball past Lloris. 2-0 already in the first half. Argentina were in dreamland. They expected this game to be one of the toughest games of their entire lives, but it was turning out to be a walk in the park for them. At halftime, not only were they 2-0 up, they were in total control of the entire game. They had more possession and had nullified the Europeans completely. France did not manage to create a single big chance or even attempt a shot throughout the first half. Things were so bad in the France camp that Didier Deschamps was forced to make 2 changes even before halftime. He took off Olivier Giroud and Ousmane Dembele and replaced them with Marcus Thuram and Randal Kolo Muani.
I ain't even finna say much. You know, it's like a storyline. I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to follow through. So yeah.
They came out for the second half. Things practically remained the same. Argentina continued to pepper France's goal while simultaneously shutting them down defensively. Lloris was called upon to make saves from shots from De Paul and Alvarez early in the second half, while France still could not hit the target. At this point, the defending champions were getting frustrated and it started to show. They started to dive into tackles and commit unnecessary fouls. This led to Adrien Rabiot being shown a yellow card just 10 minutes into the second period. But still, nothing changed. At this point...
Hey man, when that frustration hit, you just gotta attack, bro. You just gotta keep attacking, bro. That's really what it is, bro.
With a 2-goal lead, Argentinian fans started to feel like they could touch the trophy. The coach even started to think about managing the lead, so he took off Di Maria in the 64th minute and brought in Marcos Acuna, a defender. It was obvious what he wanted to do at this point, shut down everywhere and protect the lead. But that soon turned out to be a very bad decision. Anyway, France also made changes, taking off Griezmann and Theo Hernandez to bring on Coman and Camavinga in the 71st minute. That still didn't have a quick effect on the game. Argentina continued to dominate. They were on cruise mode until they were hit with their first turbulence of the night. In the 79th minute, Mbappe sent a ball through to Kolo Muani, who got in a duel with Nicolas Otamendi. The Frenchman appeared to have outmuscled the Argentine centre-back, and then Otamendi brought him down in the box. Penalty. Who stepped up? Of course it was Kylian Mbappé.
Crazy, bro.
He and his teammates...
It's 79 minutes, bro. I know your coach is frustrated, bro. How you do that shit, the game about to win, 2-0 up, final, you know, trophy right there looking at y'all, and then you do some shit like that. I know the whole team, not just the coach, the whole team frustrated.
Not managed a single shot on target all game. But with just 10 minutes left on the clock, they were offered a shot at redemption. But then, Mbappe was up against a penalty specialist in Eni Martinez, so it was not going to be easy. Well, indeed, it wasn't easy, because Martinez went the right way and even got a hand to the ball, but the shot from Mbappe was so fast and so powerful that it found its way into the back
almost
of the net.
had that, just
18 minutes
almost.
on the clock. 2-1.
Oh,
Game
I was
on.
getting intense now. Alright, let's wake up.
The Argentinians were a little shaken. They had managed to lock France up for the vast majority of the game, but Otamendi lost his head for a quick second, and with just their first shot on target of the entire game, Les Bleus were back. Argentinian fans started to bite their nails.
I ain't gonna lie.
Entire game.
The side eye is crazy.
Bleus were back. Argentinian fans started to bite their nails, but they had shown defensive solidity in the past, so surely they could hold their slender lead for 10 minutes, right?
Shit. Ain't it 2-2?
They could not even hold the lead for 1 minute. The very next minute after France's goal, Messi was robbed in the middle of the pitch by Coman, and he...
Boy, I ain't tripping, bro. Like, the scoreline changing from 2-2 to 2-1 to 2-2.
Started a French attack, which ended up with a cute little give and go between Mbappe and Thuram, and boom! Mbappe had produced one of the best goals we've seen in a World Cup final.
Well, that's a rocket. That's a rocket.
And dragged France back into the
now
game.
it's 2-2.
Peter Drury called him an awesome force of nature.
So they scored 2 goals in 3 minutes? Hey man, Argentina, you're island, bro. You almost had it.
Surely at this point, Argentinian fans started to have so many flashbacks. 2018 when Mbappe scored twice and sent them packing, or 2014 when they were in control for so long in the final against Germany, but ended up losing it at the very end. Take your pick. There was not one fan of Lionel Messi or Argentinian football in the world who wasn't shivering at that moment. Yes, Mbappe had been quiet for much of the game, but when he chose to rise, he was the scariest thing ever. After his 81st minute equalizer, the entire nation of Argentina trembled.
Hey, no shots on target, and then you score a penalty and you score a goal like that. Even though you were squad the whole game, hey, you brought your team up, you know what I mean?
Each time Mbappe touched the ball, they were begging for extra time. They had been on top the entire game, and it would be a nightmare if they lost it all in the last 10 minutes. And they very nearly thought they did when Thuram went down in the box. Argentinians had hearts in mouths at that moment. But the referee had a good view of it and blew a free kick for Argentina, showing Thuram a yellow card for diving. But Mbappe didn't stop. He kept dribbling, shooting, crossing, driving in, trying to make something happen to win France the game in normal time. But Argentina managed to stand strong. Messi, on the other end, came close to snatching it for Argentina with a shot from outside the box. But Lloris was able to make a brilliant save. So the game went to extra time, just like it did the last time Argentina were in the World Cup final. To be on top for 80 minutes and then go on to lose your 2-goal lead in just 1 minute was really devastating. Argentinian fans still tried to keep hope alive, but it was obvious that they were now more scared than positive. But in extra time, things returned to normal. Argentina were back to dictating the tempo of the game. They created 2 big chances, but both of them were squandered by Lautaro Martinez, who had come in the 103rd minute for Julian Alvarez. Anyway, no goal was scored in the first half of extra time, but that was simply because they were saving the goals for the second period. Just 3 minutes after the resumption of the second half of extra time, Argentina's captain led by example once again. Lautaro Martinez's shot on target was spilled by Lloris, and Messi was perfectly placed to pounce. Koundé tried to clear the ball from off the line,
right there.
but he was too late. The ball had already crossed the line. Argentina were back in the lead. Surely they were going to protect their lead this time around and go on to win the trophy in extra time, right? Wrong again.
Right.
Just 8 minutes after Argentina went ahead, they conceded yet another penalty. Mbappe got at the end of a cross from a Coman corner, and he attempted a shot on goal. That shot was blocked by Gonzalo Montiel, but he used his arm, so a penalty
2 penalties, giving out 2 penalties in the final World Cup is crazy.
Mbappe stepped up again.
We got Mbappe up
scored
there.
2 penalties against the specialist Emi Martinez.
I mean, he has
bet
to.
he could.
Yeah,
this time,
he has
sent
to.
the goalkeeper the wrong way to complete his
Hit
hat-trick.
it the same
This was the
place.
first time a player had scored a hat-trick in a World Cup final since 1966.
Hey, bro. Mbappe really on demon time, bro.
Mbappe had got into the history books, and he wanted to complete his job by bringing the trophy home as well. So, he kept going. He sent in a cross to Colomwani, but the striker missed the header by a hair's breadth. He also tried to dribble in from the left like he always does, and he very nearly got a clear sight of goal after going past 3 Argentinian players.
You can see how bad he won it right now.
Fernandez was there to produce a very crucial interception, and Paulo Dybala came and cleared the ball as far away as he could. At this point, Argentina was sick of the sight of Mbappe. Anytime he had the ball, the entire country had shivers run down their spine. But before then, there was that moment. Colomwani had the entire world at his feet and the fate of millions in his palms when he found himself through on goal and one-on-one with Emi Martinez. It looked like there could only be one outcome. The French substitutes were already on the pitch ready to celebrate their back-to-back World Cup win, which was going to be confirmed when Colomwani put the ball in the back of the net. But somehow, unbelievably, inexplicably, unfathomably, Emi Martinez pulled off one of the greatest saves we have ever seen in a World Cup game. Everyone who saw that knew they were watching history. Many French fans were asking why Colomwani did not pass to Mbappe, but Argentinians were happy he didn't. Anyway, that was it. These 2 teams were inseparable in 120 minutes, so the game went to penalties. And guess who stepped up first for France? Yes, that same guy, Kylian Mbappe.
He about to score
really
3
penalties past Emi Martinez in the same game? You bet he could. He beat Martinez from the spot 3 times in 1 game. Not many players can boast of this. Anyway, Messi also stepped up first for Argentina, and he converted his penalty as well.
Bro really just scored 3 penalties in 1 game, bro. And this is a FIFA final, bro. What? That's crazy.
But Coman and Tchouaméni missed, while Argentina remained perfect. And that was how they became world champions for the first time in 36 years.
I mean, hey, they sweated for that. I ain't gonna lie.
They had to work for this particular trophy. Argentina managed to come out as winners, but Kylian Mbappé made an entire nation shiver from minute 80 to minute 120. What a day that was. Guys, is that the greatest...
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy, bro. Coming up like that after a whole game being down, yeah, I can see why they started getting scared, bro. Argentina, not really scared, but more alert and just more careful by the next plays, you know. The next move gotta be their best move, because this is a World Cup final, bro. Like, hey, shit don't come every single year, you know what I mean? So, I ain't gonna lie, Mbappe, though, he was cooking out there, bro. They say the whole game he was quiet. He just started talking in the 80th minute, bro. I ain't gonna lie, he talked a lot. Yeah, he put in a couple goals. So I could say that was the most intense FIFA World Cup final, bro. From the beginning of the game all the way till the last penalty, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, me personally, I'm not a big fan of penalties, because I feel like penalties, anybody could win that, you know? Like, yeah, like, man, you know, like, I get it. It's a tiebreaker, but once it comes to penalties, it's just more of like, you just won because it's penalties, you know? Hey, that's my take on it. Don't hate me. Look, subscribe. Let's get to 2,000. I'm going to catch you on the next video. Peace out.